Hey, what's going on, y'all? This is your boy L-Dub, and today we're going to be doing a reaction video to India Love Hasn't Changed at All. A lot of people don't know who India Love is. India Love, she's a streamer, slash, like, she first started like as like Instagram model for real. Like, she's probably like one of the, like, I guess you could say, legends of the Instagram model world, coming in like, 2015, 2016, around that time, around that era. But yeah, we're gonna get into this and see what Omizi is talking about. So without further ado, let's get into this.
Arcade boy.
Ooh, dub, you killing them. What I say, harder for the night.
Has been trying to prove for the past couple of months that everything Streamer India Love has been trying to prove for the past couple of months that everything about her has changed. She's taking on this new walk of life. She's not going to be this mean girl bratty image that she once has, and she's actually going to grow up into a more mature version of herself. But after a couple of choice interactions over this past weekend during DreamCon, I would say that that same old India Love never left.
Should I hear my phone? I'm already irritated right here.
Brother. And I wish I could say it was just that one, but there are a couple other incidents that let me know that her attitude has been the exact same. Every time somebody corrects her or tells her no, she acts as though it's some sort of disrespect. And at this point, India Love is not being misunderstood. She's repeatedly showing people who she is. And based off of a conversation that I had, I think the issue is bigger than just an attitude problem. It's something that plagues her and other streamers vastly across the industry.
I think it's like the parasocial relationship of being a chat viewer. So I think being kind of in an echo.
So, if y'all don't know who this guy is, he was the guy right next to India Love, and India Love basically accused him of looking through his phone. And I gotta seen something on his video where he said he wasn't looking at her phone. He kind of just glanced because he kind of saw himself on the phone because she's streaming, right? Also, if y'all don't know who this is right here, this is JD Witherspoon, right? JD Witherspoon. He is the son of the late John Witherspoon. If y'all don't know who John Witherspoon is, go ahead and pull John Witherspoon up real quick so y'all know who I'm talking about. Yeah, this is John Witherspoon, and that his son. Yeah, everybody should know John Witherspoon, aka Pops, Boondocks, from all the Friday movies, hilarious comedian, man. Rest in peace to John Witherspoon. But yeah, y'all know who this is. This is a legend right here. But yeah, man. But yeah, this is his son, JD Witherspoon. JD Witherspoon also does stand-up comedy, and he also does voice acting too. So yeah, so he kind of just got in a little debacle with what India Love was doing, and basically, it's streaming. Streaming, you want to try to do something to make clip, and that's what she was doing. She was just trying to get a clip off, and it was trying to basically embarrass him. And he basically took it like a champ, because he ain't really worried about it. It was just something that happened, and he seen it. And a lot of people rally for JD, for real. A lot of people really rally for JD, and a lot of people was mad at India Love for that. So But we're gonna get back into this. I'm rambling a little bit.
Chamber of your own doing through a fan base can be an area where you can misstep.
If you're new to this and you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. It's gonna go a long, long way for the channel. Don't disrespect me by watching all of my videos, being all up in the comment section, but not subscribing. Now, back into the video. India Love has this strange relationship with her image and the internet. She is 30 years old, and not saying that's a crazy thing because I myself am pushing 30. I'll be 30 in like less than 30 days. But she still has this boss girl, bratty, you know, young person mentality about her. And it shows up in all these viral situations in which she is acting as though she is the star in every situation. Everybody is disrespecting her. She's always on edge, etc., etc. And the sun and the stars should revolve around her. First and foremost, I think it's very important to lay down the landscape and foundation as to who that was. That wasn't just some randeezy.
Like, you know, there's JD right here, and this is India Love, and she's sitting right next to the Shade Frost sister. The Shade Frost, he's a actor. I guess I'm gonna have to show y'all who the Shade Frost is. But this is the Shade Frost, and the young girl that's sitting right next to India. That is that is his sister. What is her sister's name? I forget her name. Is it? Yeah, Brooklyn Frost. Yeah, Brooklyn Frost. Yeah, Brooklyn. Yeah, Brooklyn. Yeah, Brooklyn Frost. Yeah, that's the sister. As you see right here. See right here. Yeah, that's Brooklyn Frost. So yeah, and Brooklyn, she's like early 20. It's weird because, you know, they're hanging around each other, you know. Brooklyn, she's real young. Yeah, she's like 21 years old, and then India Love is like 30. I think she's like my age, for real. Okay. Oh, she's going. Okay. Okay, so she basically is 30 or pushing 30, somewhere around there. I don't know. She is 30. Oh, she was born February 3rd, 1996. Okay. So yeah, that's kind of weird. It's kind of, but I kind of understand why, because, you know, it's the streaming thing. She's streaming, and Brooklyn, she probably streaming too. So they're both just probably just streaming away, you know, trying to get clips and stuff. But, you know, that's what they do. They stream. They're big time streamers, her and her. And JD, he's doing his own thing on the YouTube, especially in the video game field.
Sitting next to India Love. And even if it was, it kind of wouldn't matter. But that is JD Witherspoon, friend of the show, JD Witherspoon, somebody who I've known for some time now. I've had multiple conversations with, and some of you may have watched as a child on his channel, Run JD Run. And just to put a little bit of extra spice on it, he's not new to this, he's true to this. And by that, I mean being of some sort of fame or celebrity status, being around and adjacent to it. He is the son of John Witherspoon, Pops from Friday, also the father from the Wayans Brothers show. I mean, he's been around these environments for multiple times and instances, been to these celebrity games. I just needed to get that out there. I think it's also important to note that even though from the angle of this video specifically, JD does look at the phone. When I had the conversation with him just last night, he acknowledges, and in other angles that we can, you know, provide, it also is pretty clear that he does indeed look at her phone.
Yeah, he just take a glance. Yeah, it was like a glance. It wasn't like looking. Like, he kind of basically noticed himself on the stream, and he was just looking like, oh, I'm on the stream, and I guess in the other video, he was like, man, I should have streamed too, and she kind of got mad at that, you know. I don't know, like, you know, it's weird because like as to certain streamers, they like to do things to try to get a clip off, and they don't care if they make you look bad too. It's just a way to make money on that note. But yeah, she was just doing that to just get a clip off.
But with that being said, I don't think that JD, and confirmed by him when I talked to him, had any sort of malicious intent when he was looking at her phone. To me, it looked like some sort of normal interaction where, you know, somebody was scanning the room. Oh, snap, there's a phone there. Oh, snap, he's live. Okay. And we can even back that with India Love's own words about what he said after he looked at her phone.
I come on. I should have went IRL. Like, who says shit like that? Right. Nigga, straight.
Without even me having the prior knowledge of the conversation based off of what JD said, it's a pretty safe assumption to say that, you know, maybe he thought to himself, I should stream. Hell, after all, JD is a streamer. To say that it was lame that a streamer who probably...
Yeah, JD does also stream. He streams IRL. And he also streamed video games. Like, I just watched him, probably last year, stream Cyberpunk video game last year. It was a pretty interesting stream that he was doing, man. But yeah, he does a lot of video games. I like watching his video game streams. Dang, I can't talk today. Gosh, dang. But yeah, man, he's a great streamer, especially on the video game aspect.
We didn't realize that he could stream or wasn't streaming or whatever the case may be. Said to himself, hey, I could have been streaming here is lame, is a little weird. I don't think that there was any malicious intent as to him looking in your phone. The thing that was up on your phone was the chat. Chat informs you about him looking into your phone. This on guard mentality, this I'm the center of attention to delve out the name calling to JD. I just think that is strange. Mind you, she could have clearly turned to JD and asked him, or as the kids would say, checked him about looking in the phone. And I'm pretty sure it could have been cleared up and squashed in 1 second. But hey, there's a lot of confusion going on right there. And the issue isn't even really that India Love was wrong. It's just how quickly she was to get to the disrespect of it all. And I wish I could say that that was the only interaction that happened at the basketball game. But shortly after that situation, DreamCon security repeatedly told her and asked her, hey, can you move? Can you leave the basketball court, etc., etc. And instead of simply just moving, this person's doing their job. They're trying to, you know, situate whatever they had going on. India Love did an India Love.
I know, but you like pushing me. I don't like you touching me. But you are. If you would just go, I wouldn't have to touch you. I'm right here, but you don't have to touch me. But we can literally be right here. Oh, it's not that deep. It's really not that deep.
For what it's worth, I thought the security guard was doing what he normally does. Can security be overreachy and pushy and all these things? Sure. But at the same time, he's just trying to handle things in the best way that he knows how. And if we were to just heed the warnings here, God, I can't believe I'm defending somebody that's technically a law enforcement officer, then maybe we wouldn't get to this situation. And I don't think that this situation was the worst of it all with India Love, but we've got to remember she has this image about herself. People already feel like she's this quote unquote bitchy person. And when it rains, it pours for her. This is about pattern recognition after all. So when you take the JD clip, when you take the situation with the security guard, and then you take the other 2 interactions at DreamCon.
These are they put us here.
It just feels like she's basically in her own role. Because she knows who she is at the end of the day, you know. And like she knows she's like that girl. My bad. That woman. And like she's been famous for a long time. Everybody knows her. So she just feels like she could just do anything. Basically that's just what it is. That's what it comes down to. Like she feels like she could do anything, say anything, and just thinks it just works for her. Sometimes it does work for her, but I'm just saying. You know, and they're at DreamCon. This is down in Houston, Texas. I don't know if y'all know RDC. They're a group of YouTubers. This is at RDC DreamCon right now, right here. Dang, I cannot talk. But right here, they're at the like a little all-star game, like where it's like different celebrities and different streamers. Like this is during a basketball game, and probably one of the best celebrity basketball game that they ever had because they went to overtime. But anyway, this is during the basketball game. You know, all the streamers, all the celebrities there. You know, a lot of people just get invited to this whole event. So like, they just gonna turn up. That's all it is. Just turn up, get a clip, and
All right, we're not gonna move you guys somewhere else.
Let me call because they put us right here. Oh, he said let us sit.
I don't know, man. It's kind of hard to sell to an audience that you have this newfound attitude about yourself where you are trying to be this better presenting person. Again, I don't think that all of these things are the worst. There's explanations for why she did this, why she did that, why she did the third. But if I'm trying to sell a new image about myself, I certainly wouldn't be doing things like I did at DreamCon, or even worse, the most blatant example, the traffic situation.
You have to wait. You have to. Okay, and this is a public situation going on. You have to wait a second, sir. We're not doing anything wrong. Please give us 1 second. We're not bothering anybody. Please. You could go around.
you can't.
Go play, go
can't
play, go
do
play.
that,
Go play, go play. Wait, let me make sure I got the TikTok, because, baby, we'll do it again. Gotta go around.
Really, India? Blocking traffic
Can't
for
do it.
a
You can't do
mid
that.
TikTok at best. This is the larger problem of all of it. She only evaluates these situations according to how it can affect her or impact her. She wants the TikTok, so the driver should have to wait. She wants to remain on the court, so security should just repeatedly justify the rule. She doesn't want to get up to maybe show some fan appreciation for somebody. Again, maybe a little bit of a reach, but it is what it is. So she'll sit down and ask this dude to bend down. Her chat says that JD is looking at her phone, so JD immediately becomes a lame in this situation. I think if you really wanted to, you could paint a narrative about India Love based off of all these multiple clips that have presented themselves over the past, 5-6 days. But these clips only become worse when you realize that, hey, pattern recognition is real, and she's done stuff like this plenty of times before.
Miss, no camera, no filming inside, please.
Okay.
It's not recording, right, guys?
No, ma'am.
Because you're live then. If you can please take it off.
Okay, I'm just waiting for her to grab her stuff. She's a weirdo. She did not have to do all that. She's a fucking weirdo. Girl, your lady kicked me out. She's a fucking bitch. Whoever the fuck that was.
The DreamCon security interaction follows the exact same pattern as the store situation. There is an employee that is trying to do their job, follow rules, that is making all of $9 an hour, trying to, get some bananas and some chicken thighs so that they can go and cook at home. I don't even know what they're cooking with bananas and chicken thighs. Produce has parasites right now, people. Stay away from it. But here comes India Love immediately minimizing that person. It's not because she doesn't understand the rule, but it's because she doesn't understand why the rule should personally impact and affect her. Instead of complying, she immediately challenges an employee in turning a basic rule into some bigger conference.
She again, she thinks the world revolves around her. She thinks everything revolves around her, especially with the streaming thing going on. She's doing it just for effortlessly to try to, just get these footage out so people can edit and and again, she makes money doing this. Like she makes money just trying to, how can I explain it? Like just involving herself with different people and just getting it clipped in. It's all a money game at the end of the day. Like, all right, what can I do to get a clip off and make money off of it? I'm gonna do this, get on this person's nerve. I'm gonna do this, block traffic. I'm gonna do this, make people think that he was inside my phone, just to get a clip and make money off of it. So
confrontation. What makes it even worse, and I think shows more about who she is that, you know, of course you linger, you try to draw it out, you're a streamer. I guess that's where we are now. But when she leaves the store, she automatically starts just insulting and throwing names at the employee. To me, stuff like that is just so weird and just shows a lack of consideration as a whole. And for what it's worth, she did the same situation at the Streamer Awards, just in a different form.
Breakout Streamer of the Year went to Adapt, and congratulations, and we respect you for what you did. But Rakai should have won Breakout Streamer of the Year and DDG. I don't care what y'all say. Shout out Rakai, shout out.
Remember watching this and she did that. That was so distasteful. I think she got kicked. I think they kicked her out. They kicked her out after she did that because she wasn't supposed to be on stage. Yeah, she was not supposed to be on stage. She just went up there like it says right there. Like she had a Kanye moment. Like she went on stage, was like, hey, Rakai should have run that, and Tyler should have run that, but yeah, they kicked her out of the Streamer Awards thing after this. I definitely won this. Yeah, Rakai DDG, my bad, y'all. I said Tyler, but yeah, she was having her Kanye moment, and they kicked her out. They was booing her crazy.
FaZe Adapt had just won the biggest award in his life, really solidifying him in the streaming space, coming from being where he was and growing to the place and space that he eventually is now. But India Love disagreed with the results, and instead of just waiting to go home and be on the stream and, you know, give your 2 cents like most people would, she decided that was time for her to shine, ran on stage, and said what she decided to do. Now, for what it's worth, she would go on to apologize for the situation because she recognized ultimately how it diminished FaZe Adapt's accomplishments, and I do believe that apology was driven by the chat, which we'll get to in a minute because the community was slandering her as a whole. But months later, she's still treating public roads, convention courts, employees in workplaces like everyone else must accommodate exactly what she wants. This is this repeated pattern of entitlement followed by confusion. India acts impulsively, people criticize her, she explains her intention, she apologizes and talks about growth, and then another situation happens because the actual reaction did not change. That's what makes this whole recent transformation so hard to believe. She knows how to describe her problem after the damage is done. She just cannot seem to control these situations when it is happening.
That's the whole reason why God allows making mistakes. He knows you're going to make mistakes, and mistakes are designed to turn you to Him. You get what I'm trying to say? He don't want me to be perfect. He don't want me to be cookie cutter, a saint all the time. He's okay with me sinning. You know why? Because he knows I'm going to repent. You know why? Because I get convicted when I sin.
Now, I want to make it very clear before I go down this rabbit hole that I'm going down. I'm not questioning India Love's faith or religious status. This isn't me challenging her beliefs, all these different things. It's more to show something greater that I will get into as opposed to saying she's not a Christian or a believer of God or whatever the case may be. So India Love has recently made this spiritual journey that she's going on a part of her public image. And there's no reason for me to believe that these emotions are fake. She could genuinely be trying to be more disciplined and move differently and all these things like that. But for what it's worth, India Love seems to be more successful.
No, there's a lot of women, especially when they get close to their 30s or get in their 30s, you know, like in their 20s, a lot of them, they be wild, boy. I swear they be wild, just out there putting themselves out, having a whole bunch of relations with so many guys, and then when they get closer to 30, they're like, I gotta give my life to God because I've been doing so much bad stuff, and then like they get into it, but they're still them at the end of the day, even though they're trying to get themselves into with the Lord, you know, but they still has that. What is it? Is it ego? I guess it's ego about the self that still like stays with them while they're trying to change their life, and they still all about the Lord, but they still revert to what they used to do or how they be, and and personality plays a part in that too. But yeah, a lot of them just, it just really depends on who they are. It just takes a lot of integrity to really change themselves on who they really want to be.
At explaining the person that she wants to be, as opposed to becoming that person consistently and behaving like she should. To me, real growth is shown in the small and uninteresting moments. Moving the car when someone needs to pass, leaving the court when security asks, turning off the camera when an employee says that there's a policy, and for sure not cussing them out and calling them all types of names once you leave the store. Now, of course, none of these moments would create some sort of virality and people would be talking about it, but that's not necessarily what she would be searching for, because she's simply trying to demonstrate this maturity and consideration that she hasn't had before. India Love's problem is not that she's making mistakes. Everyone does, right? I make mistakes, you make mistakes, we all do. The problem is that each mistake seems to come from the same belief that her feelings, content, and intentions are more important than everybody else around her. She appears to view some sort of boundaries as disrespect. When an employee says no, she hears that they are targeting her. When security asks her to move, she believes that she's owed some sort of debate. And when Chad accuses someone, she immediately believes the worst about that person. And I mentioned something earlier in the video about what I think the larger and greater issue is. I do think that that is a portion of it. When I sat down with JD Witherspoon to have a conversation about this whole India Love fiasco and debacle, he'll love that I'm hyping it up with some of those words. We came to an interesting conclusion and tidbit here about how the chat can drive these social media creators to say, do, and act things that they probably wouldn't do.
If I grew up, obviously, in my 20s.
That's true. True. That is true. Yeah. When you have a chat, sometimes they can lead a streamer to do things and basically just be like it's weird because like you're supposed to control the chat, right? The chat is not supposed to control you. That is literally the rule. Like you're supposed to control the chat. Don't let the chat control you or direct you, because that's what happens to a lot of streamers. A lot of streamers let the chat direct you. Like they say something and then y'all just go off of it and just try to see what happens. That's just what it is. Like they're listening to their chat more than the chat is listening to them, and it should be the other way around.
20s with one of these, and live streaming was a thing, and also making content and being on people's radar to that level was a thing. I could see how it could make you paranoid for sure. That's my first time ever getting clip farmed. That's the word. That's the thing. I think that's more the chat than her. I don't know her personally. I have nothing negative to say about her.
You said it was the chat. What do you mean by it was the chat more than anything?
I think it's like the parasocial relationship of being a chat viewer. My chat viewers, they like to ride or die for me in certain scenarios, and I usually tell them don't. I always keep it like 100% with the people who support me, like where I genuinely tell them like, yo, real talk, you guys don't really know me as a person. You're my supporters. We're friends to a degree, but I don't need you to like fight battles for me. We don't know each other. So I'm not gonna lie to your face and say things like I love you. I can't say that. I don't know you that well to say I love you. So I think being kind of in an echo chamber of your own doing through a fan base can be not necessarily a downfall, but just an area where you can misstep. I think that's kind of like people who get a little too lost in the sauce of the internet.
So while she may be trying to take on this new spiritual journey,
I definitely agree with JD, because like people get into this streaming and then they just let themselves go with what other people say and they just go with it. You don't have to always go with what your chat is saying. You don't have to always do that. You want to entertain your chat, but you don't want to let the chat entertain you. If that makes sense. I don't know. Do y'all hear me yet? What I'm trying to say, like you want to entertain the chat, but not let the chat entertain you. If that makes sense, and that's what it is. It just becomes I cannot talk today. Jeez. Guys, I cannot talk. But y'all understand what I'm trying to say.
An awakening. She still has something that is controlling her, and it plagues a lot of the streaming industry. But for India Love specifically, she already has this reputation that she's fed into for quite some time now. Immediately in that interaction with JD, she turns to see what Chat is saying. Chat was giving her the validation in these moments, and she gassed up and hyped up that situation for the chat. No different than the situation in the store. If you look at the chat on screen, you can see that they are egging on the situation as well. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying she's faultless. She does play into this bad girl identity. She could be in more control of her community or just not lay into them as well. The need for validation from the teeny boppers of the world is a very interesting place and space. But we do have to recognize Chat's involvement in how India Love is going about navigating her life, which is scary. She's 30. This is why I think it's harder for her to fully take on this new identity and new image that she's putting out there. This is why she keeps falling back into these bad behaviors, because she has James 3698 who stole mommy's card to, you know, purchase her OF back in the day, or currently, I don't know.
And you gotta think about it. People in her chat is probably early 20s, 18, 19. Probably young boys, young girls, you know. That's mostly like the age demographic of people that literally just be in these streamers chat, like early 18 to early 20, early 18 to early 20s. So, and you're like 30 years old and these young people direct you on what to do.
Oh, she still got one up. Telling her in the chat that JD Witherspoon of all people is being nosy and in her business. For what it's worth, India Love's biggest problem isn't JD Witherspoon or DreamCon security or store employees or impatient drivers. It's that she seems to believe that respecting another person's boundary means allowing them to disrespect or control her. That's why every normal correction becomes confrontation, and every confrontation becomes a viral clip, and every viral clip eventually becomes another speech about growth. And the whole time she's reading that little box in the corner of her streams to get validation about if she's doing the right thing or if she's doing the wrong thing, etc., etc. India may genuinely want to be a different person, but two things need to happen. One, it needs to appear while the camera is already rolling. People are going to keep saying the exact same things if that doesn't happen. And two, got to disconnect with that chat. That chat is not your friend, mamas. Hey, they're not doing you no favors at all. Streamer India.
All right, that's gonna be it for that video, man. All right, man. I thank y'all. Appreciate it. Like this video if y'all like it. Really appreciate y'all watching this video. Please like and please subscribe to my channel. Thank y'all, and we are gone.